on the findings of the Auditor General as to whether we receive written or verbal responses. That is their choice. But for us, once we are availed with the Auditor General's report, it matters not that an entity or agency or commission preferred not to submit a written response. I think this has been a strategy by some entities to dodge scrutiny, that haven't submitted my response. So it matters not. All what matters to us is that once the Auditor General submits the audit report to Parliament and is accordingly forwarded to our committee, we shall proceed and invite and summon such agency and entity, whether they have replies on our record and want to advise all accounting officers. You already have the Auditor General's report wherever you are. It is in your interest to avail your effective and appropriate response if you choose to respond in writing and on time. Number two, I want to remind accounting officers of all statutory agencies, authorities, commissions, that it remains within our discretion to appreciate and interpret the provisions of the law. We shall require all of you. You know, most of these agencies, there are some which are comfortable that we have never been invited. Then there are some which are invited and they have that the laxity of saying, but they haven't been inviting us. This is Paka Kosase 2026. So we are alive to the law. As to whether you have never been invited, that doesn't offer you an explanation or excuse to avoid scrutiny. So we are inviting all entities. In fact, for next week, we are lining up mostly financial institutions, all those in relation to finance, the respective bank and Bank of Uganda and other corresponding banks. So in line with our mandate, among others. And we want to remind accounting officers, the law is, if you look at Article 160 of our Constitution, it provides that the accounting officer in charge of a department or a PSP ministry shall be accountable to Parliament for funds that the ministry or department receives. And any person holding a political or public office who directs or concurs in the use of public funds contrary to existing instructions shall be accountable for any loss arising from that use and shall be required to make good the loss, even if he or she has ceased to hold that office. And lastly, under this article, it says, Parliament shall monitor all expenditure of public funds. As Pak Kosase, we are alive to the constitutional provision, and we shall hold accountable every entity, every agency, every statutory authority. And lastly, on that, I want to communicate to members of the committee. The good thing, the good thing, I want to commend the membership of Kosase. I think the members have been attending fully. We have heard over the news some rhetoric about attendance of members to committees. I want to applaud the members of Pak Kosase, and it is on record that you have attended fully and in a sizable number all our proceedings and all our sittings, including the oversights. I want to thank you, and I want to clear the air that what we hear about committees may not necessarily touch Kosase because our members are effectively attending. I only wish to advise that those who may seek leave under Rule 118 of our Rules of Procedure and specifically Rule 119 of our Rules of Procedure, it provides leave of absence in committees. A member of a committee shall attend meetings of the committee unless leave of absence has been granted to the member of the committee by the Speaker or the chairperson of the committee. Leave of absence under Sub-Rule 1 shall be granted to a member of a committee upon a member providing satisfactory explanation to the Speaker or chairperson of the committee. A request for leave of absence shall be in writing unless the Speaker or chairperson in exceptional circumstances permit otherwise. So I want to only to pronounce this as a reminder that in the event that you are unable, please seek permission. The rules provide that it has to be in writing, but at discretion of the chairperson or the Speaker, it can actually be in other means, including, I guess, the verbal means. I only want to pass this as a reminder to the members that you have been attending very well. But in the event you have a really an understandable reason why you may miss a particular sitting or activity, please seek leave so that you are in good records and good books of the committee and in line with the rules. Otherwise, in general, I want to put on the record that as far as Park Akosasa is concerned, our members are attending and they are very effective. Now, to Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. Colleagues, a quick perusal of the Auditor General's report. There are several observations. Including but not limited to lack of a recovery plan for debts. The audit books reveal 199.306 billion of non-recovered debts, whereof 52.538 not recovered from government agencies, 27.74 billion from non-government debtors. We have aspects, concerns and observations to do with the procurement that in planned procurements were not executed, and the Auditor General specifically reminds us that failure. I'm trying to give my remarks before we encounter and engage this entity. Now, I'm trying to look at the critical observations by the Auditor General. There's an observation to do with the planned procurement, which were not executed by the Civil Aviation Authority, and the Auditor General cites that failure to implement such planned procurements expose Civil Aviation Authority to increase the cost due to price fluctuation and then delays in projects, meaning that if the plan was for this year and the price was different, if executed next year or the other year, the cost and the cost will actually be higher. Now, this presupposes it can be intentional, or it can be it can have another contrary explanation. So, as we engage the entity, we are also seeing the other observation within the Auditor General's report: incomplete procurement plans uploaded on the EGP system, which hinder timely procurements. I've also seen the Auditor General observing that there is delayed completion of projects, the aerodromes, delayed the completion of works, the airfield in the Pakuba airfield expansion, which was delayed by the time of inspection. It was at 58%. Yet actually it would have the planned period was to end on 28th April 2025. The Gulu airfield, among others. Then the Auditor General also observes that the assets, I think this figure is in trillion, if I'm not mistaken, 17.427,189,913 of assets which are idle, that they have assets in trillions. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the mathematics correct, but if it is 17, Bruce, you know this better, 17,427,189,913. What figure is that? 17,427,189,913. So, billion? 17 billion 427,189,913. So that assets worth 17 billion 427,189,913 thousands is idle, and that idle, it's not in use. Then aspects to do with the budget implementation, among others. Now, this is a critical and simple overview of the observations by the Auditor General. Now, as we engage the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, and before I allow the acting Director General, from the introduction, I heard everyone saying acting. Acting. We want to deal with the right group. First of all, we want to appreciate the background of you being in acting position. So from the team leader up to, I think, up to the next four individuals, they are all acting. Please explain to us that why are you all in acting capacity? And if I may remind you, when we invited you for the sitting of last time, we got a response on record. And I want to remind members, on July 29th, 2026, we got a letter, attention clerk to Parliament, a request for rescheduling of Uganda Civil Aviation Authority appearance before the Public Accounts Committee, COSASE. This is to acknowledge the receipt of your letter dated July 27th, inviting Civil Aviation to appear before PAC COSASE. The authority attaches great importance to the oversight, but the reasons here. However, I wish to inform you that the Director General, who is the accounting officer of the authority, is currently out of the country and is not available on the scheduled date. Given the importance of the matters to be considered and the desirability of having the accounting officer present to comprehensively respond to the committee queries, I kindly request that a hearing be rescheduled. I respectfully propose Wednesday, August 19th, 2026, which is today. Now, the committee received this letter, we accepted, and we scheduled for today, Wednesday, 19th, 2026. This response was signed by Olive Birungi Rumonya, the Acting Director General. Now, today is 19th. You are here alone, allegedly, as the team leader. Account for this and account for the absence of the person you said will be present today.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for your communication, and I note your comments on the issues of acting position. Chairman, the time you wrote to us, we engaged the Director General at that time, who was expected to be back by Saturday this week. Unfortunately, he was not able to come back due to medical conditions and the requirement by the doctor. But I can also confirm, Chair, that I have an acting position. I have a letter from him as Acting Director General. When I move to the next team, Chair, I think the people who are acting, Director Finance is substantive, is not acting. Sam Woneka is acting as Director Airports. And the reason why, Chairman, if you recall, the President issued a directive to terminate or retire 3 top senior managers of Civil Aviation Authority. One of that one was the DAS, Engineer Ayub Soma, and the board approved Sam Woneka to act in that position. But substantively... Is
Sam Woneka around? Okay, Sam Woneka, okay.
Yes. He was approved. Substantively, he's the General Manager Upcountry Aerodromes.
He was approved by the board?
Yes, Chair.
We need that documentation.
Yes, Chair, we have
the approval.
It.
Yes?
We have it, and when we go to the next one, because also the Corporation Secretary was among the staff that are retired, the board again approved Okwalinga Joel to act as a Corporation Secretary until the positions are filled. So these two, Chair, are acting, and we have Engineer Herbert Ngobi. The person in that position was also one of the 3 people who were retired. But we went to the board because these are board appointees, and the board approved the 3 officers to be acting in those positions, and they've been given all letters of authority to act in the positions they are in. That's the clarification I got.
Did you move with copies of those letters?
Chair, we can get them as we go on.
Yes.
We can communicate to the office, so I can ask the Director HR whether they have them here on mail.
Director HR, where are you?
Just check.
We need to be certain that these are substantively in acting capacity. You have the copies?
We can get them.
Okay. Proceed.
Chair, so those are the acting positions that you requested me to clarify on before we proceed.
Now, you're also acting. We haven't seen you talking about...
Chair, am I acting?
We don't have the medical proof that the said Director General has actually been advised to remain behind. With this background, someone may think, and we also need to interrogate as to whether the Director General is not just avoiding the committee and trying to put you in light and with accountability. We are also going to interrogate as to whether you are competent to actually answer us on matters of accountability on behalf of an accounting officer. We are also delegated the said powers, and any proof that the Director General communicated his inability to return or to report to the committee, it was your letter to us. You did not write any other letter deferring or explaining as to why the Director may not attend. So, give more light.
Chair, I can give light that his absence this time is not the first time. Chair, I've been acting for a few months. He has a medical challenge, so he's been going in for his medical treatment, but he's been coming in and actually working. So he's always away about 3 to 4 weeks and then comes in and works for a month. But in all those positions, he has always left me with a letter authorizing me to act in the position.
Can we, as a preliminary, receive a copy of that authorization letter? You have it on phone?
Yes, Chair, I have one.
We want a physical
He's
copy.
going to print. They're going to print.
We want...
Chair, allow us to get somebody to print the letters, and then we'll be able to share this with you.
Okay, clarification.
Chair,
as you process those letters.
Chair, the clarification I'm seeking from the acting director. She's in acting capacity now for how long? How has she been holding that acting position?
Maybe acting DG, as you answer that, you may also need to speak to what the chair had insinuated regarding, you may speak to the committee regarding your competence as the accounting officer before this committee.
Chair, the acting has not been a consecutive. I've been acting as and whenever the Director General is out of office. This acting began in November. So I acted for 3 weeks. He was away, came back, he worked for a whole 1 month, went back for the medical, because he goes in for his medical treatment and is back. And when he's back in office, he's substantively in his office. There have been days of 30 days, 50 days, 40 days, 5 days. So the days have been differing according to the requirements of the medical procedure that is undergoing. And in that process, I can confirm, Chair, that I'm in good capacity to account for the institution this morning.
Let me get this.
Yeah.
I think you'll answer at once. Yes, Honorable. You record these concerns and then you respond at once.
Chair, Waluswaka James are my names. I represent the people of Bunyoro West. Honorable Chair, on a simple sad note, I saw the acting accounting officer trying to talk before you give permission. I want to advise that when we talk, we pass through our chair and chair will give you that one. I wanted to note that. But Chair, with her capacity, she has much more capacity, but she will talk about it. But what I wanted to know, you said you are going to print. This is parliamentary premises. I request that you request the permission of the chair, you send the documents to the clerk, and the clerk will print. Because when you send your people across to Nasa Road, they get a problem, they will say the chair sent them out. That's the information, Honour Chair. When they are here, they are under your control, and you have all the means. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Well, we don't have the discretion and the budget to print for agencies. We can either allow that they submit a soft copy, and if you have to print, we print as Parliament, not on their behalf. unfortunately, this is a document that requires submission. That requires submission. So their inability to prepare cannot be visited on the clerk or the committee. But when they have their own means, we don't interrupt in their processing of their own documents. I don't want it to be captured as if by forwarding to the clerk, it is received by the committee. That's not how we receive documents. But if they politely work with the technical team, that is beyond my ruling. But for now, we are expecting the document to offer us clarity. Yes, Honorable. I'm coming here.
Hello. Thank you, Chair. The acting manager, they have got highs that the substantive manager appoints her whenever he's not there to be in the acting position. So, how do we rule out that for today's case, he is there, but he chose to appoint you in the acting position? So, do you have the letter for only today? Because you say when he's on, he's off, you are in the acting position. When he's around, he does the work. So, for today's case, we have been appointed this morning or yesterday. We would love to look at that one because you are only appointed whenever he feels unable. So today we are assuming he has been unable and he has given you a fresh one. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Yes, Bruce.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Bruce Baraba Kabasa, Member of Parliament for Rwanda County West and a member of this committee. Chair, by appointment, a deputy is a principal by appointment. That with or without an instrument, if there is reason for the deputy to perform the duties of the principal, there is absolutely no question about the competence or the authority of the deputy to perform that principle. So all we need to know is that she is actually substantively appointed as deputy director. And once we have that, then we know she's able to commit the entity. Secondly, Chair, there is a presidential directive she has referred to that makes a number of men here act as managers or directors in the agency. We know the law limits acting to 6 months. And we need to know, Chair, through you, for how long these officers have been acting, and if the period has exceeded 6 months, what remedies do they have? And if it has not reached, what plans do they have in case the 6 months reach before the President clears the ones who were suspended? And that way, Chair, we will be able to proceed.
Thank you. Okay, that's all. Now, Ms. Birunji, I think we shall need to ascertain your own appointment and cross-check within the language and the meaning of the law how the extent of your power and authority as the deputy, as raised by Bruce. Otherwise, in your write-up, you wrote as acting director general, and your introduction equally stated so. Now, your being a deputy is also a new revelation, which we need to ascertain on record. We don't receive evidence from our members. We receive evidence from you. Okay. So it is actually you to ably introduce yourself. Otherwise, we guess anyone can be appointed as acting director general. It doesn't mean that by insinuation you become the deputy. That one we also need a substantive appointment. It will assist us understand what are your roles and powers in absence of a director general. Otherwise, in your own introduction, you only alluded to a delegated authority from the Director General. So may you also avail us the appointing instrument so that we can ascertain what is your position as the substantive position before the delegated position. And when it comes to matters of accountability, we don't interpret them as they may appear. We interpret in accordance with the law. And number two, you alluded to a presidential directive. I think we may need you to avail us a copy. Avail us a copy of the said directive. We don't want to discuss based on hearsay. You have a copy of the directive?
Chair, we will still get it. Because
who is
we
the
have
secretary
it.
to you have a corporation secretary? Acting. Do you have a copy of the presidential directive?
Yes. You can step out.
You pull it closer.
Chair, we do have a copy of the same and it can be availed.
When?
Chair, immediately, because we have all these in our on emails. We just need one of us to step out.
Have you sent someone to? Have you sent someone to make a printout of the same? Because we want you to submit them on record yourselves.
Have you?
I don't want them to be smuggled to the clerk or to the committee.
Chair, the network is bad, so we've asked them to walk out and try and print it out.
Although under ordinary circumstances, knowing that you are coming in acting capacity, you would have carried the enabling documentation. And this is a rescheduled meeting, not even the first meeting. And so we need the copy of, but before that, take us through what was contained in that directive. Who are those people mentioned in the directive? And because we need to be certain. What are the reasons, if any, in the directive?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. I want to apologize, first of all, for having spoken without going through you the first time. But I want to confirm, one, that I'm the Deputy Director General, substantive, and I have served Uganda Civil Aviation Authority for 5 years in that capacity. And Chair, substantively, I'm authorized to attend and present and represent Civil Aviation Authority. My apologies for not having introduced myself as Deputy Director General at the beginning, but I also want to confirm that I've been acting Director General for this period for now 33 days since the Director General.
But before you go to the acting role, we want a copy of your appointing instrument. We want to appreciate it ourselves. Yes. Not for you according yourself power. Let's read the document. Okay. Because the authority is not by implication, it must be by appointment. Instruments.
That's fine, Chair. We'll get that copy too,
okay,
so that it's printed and you'll be able to receive it.
Now, on the directive, take us through what was contained in the directive. And what
Chair,
are the reasons?
About, I think, a month or so, we'll get the directive. I would be comfortable to read it verbatim because some of the words I may not state them the way they are.
You said you have it in soft copy. Could you use a soft copy? If your secretary confirms this is the one? Because lately we have been seeing so many documents on social media. Yeah. And sometimes you see a presidential secretary saying this is a fake. Now, you may dismiss or reprimand people on a questionable directive.
You can check. Joseph, eh? Chair, allow us time. He's checking. Let him see if he can get the email and I'll be able to read it verbatim.
Okay. We shall not move away from that. Because we need the chronology. We need the build-up of this. Yes, Honorable.
Just a quick one, Chair. Once again, I'm Salongo Richard Senteza from Lugazi. The Deputy Director Your General. Title? The Deputy Director General is by law appointed as such. Does she need further instructions when the substantive DG is out of office? Or by statute, you take over that role? So what's the essence of this additional document written in whatever language? Is that how you do it, or you follow the law as it is?
Yes, Honorable.
Honorable, we are privileged. Our leadership here, they are legal people, and have much comfort in the leadership. But my submission, Madam Director General, Chair, in the 10th Parliament, when we were in the Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure, went through this when the CA Act. So, Madam DG, these are land people. If you have even that, they call it Act, yes, you can also share, because these people know that's where what they understand much. But as much as I know, Honor Chair, is that she's appointed and the Act states so. So when you give the Chair the Act, they will interpret very fast and you unnecessarily get these questions, Madam
Honorable
Director.
Swaka, the leadership has access to the Act.
Yeah.
You don't need the Act.
So you just quote. So maybe they quote the law, but Chair, I know I'm comfortable with you in issues of law, with your team. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, for record, we are an accountability committee. It is not enough that you have a good introduction or you have appeared in a photo somewhere titled Director General or Deputy. We scrutinize the record, and it's incumbent on the witness to table and substantiate, and to want to appreciate the roles of a deputy from the appointing instrument. And that's why we sought for the same. Number two, but I take, we take your observation that any such should also be referred to a statutory interpretation. And no, let me protect him. Let me protect him. I understand where. No, I think his submission was in good faith, just referring to the law. Have you got the directive?
Yes,
yes,
Chair.
Director General.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Let's come back this way.
I have the directive dated 24th of July, 2026.
24th of July.
2026.
Yes.
Written to the Honorable Minister, Minister of Works and Transport.
Before going to the content, who signed the directive?
Chair, the one I'm reading is the Attorney General.
It is signed by the Attorney General.
Yes.
Does the Attorney General has such power?
Maybe acting DG, you could first read it.
Okay, let's
because that would be a letter, not a directive.
Should we read the Attorney General or the directive?
We want the directive
first.
Okay.
Directive.
Get the directive. Get the directive.
Well, the Attorney General, I think, offers opinion.
Procedure.
Or communicated the.
Yes, procedure.
Thank you very much, Chair. Once again, my name is Eliab Natulinda, MP Ndogwa County West. Chair, there is a difference between advisory from the Attorney General and a directive from the President.
We have it.
The Attorney General is the chief legal advisor of government, and directives, from my understanding, only emanate from the President of the Republic of Uganda, who is the executive officer of this country. So there should be a distinction between the two letters. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the member is right. Let's get the directive. I believe the Attorney General, Solicitor General, would now come in on an advisory note. Have you got the directive?
Yes, Chair. Thank you
It is
very much,
signed by
Chair.
who? Start from
Signed
this.
by the President.
On which
Yoweri
day?
Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, signed on the 17th of July,
Okay.
2026.
It's addressed to who?
It addressed to the Honorable Fred Byamukama, Minister of Works and Transport, Kampala.
How did you access it?
It was shared with us by the Minister. The Minister wrote to us a formal letter.
You have a copy of the
instructing us to
Minister's letter?
implement. Yes, we have it. It
You
will
have
also be put together. Chair, allow us to put together the chronology, right from the letter from the President, to the letter from the Minister, to the letter to the board, because we have all these together.
For now, shall from them. Start with that.
Thank
What
you,
is the
Chair.
content? But supervision transacting on phone only.
Chair, we did.
Yet you are invited. We rescheduled a meeting.
Chair, my apologies. When we prepared, Chair, we didn't plan well, and I apologize on behalf of the team for not having planned to bring the file which refers to the presidential directive.
Okay.
Our sincere apologies
what is the
on
content
that, Chair.
As you prepared
the content is headline, Rampant Corruption at the Ministry of Works and Transport and the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. I've been getting reports that there is massive corruption in the Ministry of Works. Proof of this corruption has been the delays on roads construction, reconstruction of repair and maintenance. There are abundant examples everywhere, such as the Mpigi Expressway, which is now under investigations, the shameful Mubende, Fort Portal Road, and the embarrassing Masaka, Mutukula Road, the Jinja Road, the unfunctioning scanners at Entebbe Airport, the recent attempts by thieves to hike the costs of AFCON roads from shillings 4 billion per kilometer to shillings